Okay, we ready?
Well, good morning. I hope you're doing well. We are back in Middle Earth, and we are back in the beautiful city of Galadon, where we need to talk to the elf Corudan. So, let's get started.
The lady has spoken to me about this, and I would refuse her nothing.
The lady has spoken to me about this, Medrielle, and I refuse her nothing. But there is another reason I would help you. Corudan looks at you, his eyes shining with a curious look of gratitude. You were a friend to my sister Sigilith in Mirkwood. When the Hidden Guard and the Golden Host journeyed to the fastness of Dol Guldur, you fought alongside Sigilith. How many times did you save her life, or she yours? I do not know, but I am certain it was more than once. I wish that the tides of fate had swept the two of you together during the final assault on the tower, rather than apart. For had the two of you been together on the stairs, perhaps she would have returned from Mirkwood. But it was not to be. That is the way of things. I would be honored to accompany you south along the Anduin. Sigilith's friends are mine as well. We will need supplies, boats and limbos and paddles. Speak to Bordrist and Thangolf about acquiring such things as we will need. Bordrist will be on Tulane Galadrim, and Thangolf will be near the surrounding hedge beneath Tulane Gloraloth, not far from the entrance to Cras Galadon. So we need to gather some supplies. And where are we? Just so I know. So I know how to get back here. All right. So it's this Tulane to the far east of the city. And there are two ladders that we have to go up for that one. What a I mean, it is a very beautiful place. It's very unnatural, but it's still very beautiful. Okay, we need to go around that. That leads up to the Lord and Lady of the City, aka Celeborn and Galadriel. There are actually quite a few elves left here, despite the fact that many of them are already heading west. So this must be Thingolf.
The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corudan as your guide.
You need a boat for navigating the Anduin? Yes, I will provide one, and paddles besides. How many will be going with you? You tell Thingolf the composition of your party, and she nods. The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corudan with you. He is called the River-walker, you know, and it is a name truly given. He knows the lands on either side of the Anduin better than any elf I know. His sister Sigilith perished in Dol Guldur. We were not close, she and I, for she had a temper unlike anyone else, and to me she was always sharp and stern. It is a shame what happened to her, even so. I am certain she did great damage to her enemies before she fell, and that must be a consolation to Corudan in his grief. The boat and paddles will be ready when the time comes for your departure, Medrielle. Basically, I didn't know her, I didn't particularly like her, but oh, she was an elf, so it's really sad that she died. So we'll go up this ladder. And we need to talk to who? Bordrist.
I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks.
You are preparing for a journey down the Anduin. You have come to the correct elf, Medrielle. I will supply you with enough lembas and other goods to make such a journey comfortably. Traveling by boat will require you to disembark occasionally. There is a portage way you will need to take around the rapids of Sarngabir. Do not be so foolish as to traverse those in the boats. And of course, you will need to beach them before you reach the falls of Rorus. It is a long climb down the cliff face, but I have heard there was a way that was used of old. I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks. Corudan can cover the distance in 5 or 6 days. That should suffice, Namari. Return to Corudan. Now that I have talked to the elves, and I have gotten the assurance of what is required, we can head back and talk to him. And we might as well enjoy the beauty of the city while we can. We won't be here much longer. We won't be enjoying this peace and quiet much longer either. But I did manage to finish that one quest with the wind-blown pages. So that's done. I found the last page, which happened to be on that flat that we were just at. And I turned them in, and the elf gave me a reassurance that she would be much more careful with her pages in the future. We'll see. Now, is it this one here? It is. All right, Corudan.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
You have done as I asked. Good. The most important step of the journey occurs before you even leave home, the preparations for your departure. Make sure your weapons are cleaned and ready. Last time I traveled south, which was some weeks ago, orcs were gathering on the foreshore of the Anduin. We may need to face them. Unfortunately, I lent my bow to Themloth at Haldereth on my return from the journey. Perhaps we can stop by her encampment when we depart, and I can recover my bow from her. I'll use the spare until then. But there is nothing quite like your unfamiliar weapons, is there? Sigilith spoke often of her knives, Lenchagil and Agnasagil, and I feel the same way about my bow, though it has no name. My sister was always better with names. But now you should return to the house of Celeborn and speak with your Dunlending friend. Tell her we are almost ready to leave. So we need to go find Nona and tell her it is almost time to leave the city, which I'm sure she will be most happy about. I don't think she's finding her time here very relaxing or pleasant. Maybe in some ways it's making her homesick. And in some ways, she would just like to not have to climb up high into the trees. She didn't seem very fond of that part at all. So she should be around here somewhere. Maybe up a little. Galadriel, Nona. Alright, Tia's up, I believe. Up higher than I expected her to be. Nona.
Wadu Sword is thirsty for more adventure.
I followed you here on the behest of a dream, Medrielle. I will follow you wherever our road leads. If our adventure ended today, I would already have quite a tale to tell Suvok. Upon my return, I cannot imagine what awaits us, but it will only add to the record of our deeds. Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure as well. If we come across more Easterlings or their fell ally, as we did in the swamps, I will be more than ready than I was last time.
This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people.
I am grateful for the healing arts of Galadriel and her people, and for the lady's willingness for me to see her city. But there is something strange about this place, and I must tell you the truth. It is no place for me. I want my feet upon the ground and my foes in front of me. This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people. I am ready to depart, Medrielle. Perhaps things will feel more familiar to me as we journey south along the river. You will automatically travel to Haldereth in the Great River when you accept the quest. I believe we are ready to go, so accept. And we are here in Haldereth. Well, that was easy.
I lent my favorite bow to Fimloth, and now she has lost it.
I am not pleased about this, Medrielle. I lent my favorite bow to Fimloth to use while I remained in Lothlorien, and now she has lost it. Corudan lowers his voice and turns to his apologetic friend. No, Fimloth, I am not upset. If those arcs were as numerous as you report, you were right to flee. A bow is a bow, and the lives of my friends come first. I will search the woods of Thingloth for the arc that picked it up as you escaped. Are you of a mind to join the hunt, Medrielle? Your Dunwelling friend has already agreed to fight the arcs with me as well. Perhaps we can make a game of it. The first of us to find my lost bow will be the victor, but I shall be the happiest of all to have the bow back in my hands. So it says, defeat orcs in Thingland while Nona and Corudan hunt for the bow as well. So we need to go find 6 orcs and dispose of them. I think we can handle that. There must be orcs nearby. There's certainly bears nearby. That is a matron. A mama bear. Surprisingly, I have not found a single orc yet. And I just made a big circle around the encampment. Okay. So it's pointing me in vague directions where orcs have been spotted. In one of those cases where I don't necessarily want to follow the arrow. Okay, that's one. I know there are orc camps. We need to go the other way. Of course, that doesn't mean I necessarily know exactly where they are. Nice view of the statue. A very nice view of that. Oh, done. Get that out of the way. Alright, enough being a tourist. Back to what we were doing. Well, that's not a orc. That is, though. Amazing. After looking at that statue and admiring it, we managed to find a bunch of orcs real quick. I guess stopping to smell of roses has its benefits. Look at that deer. Hello, deer. You're pretty. I know I've gone too far that way. The music and the area both changed. But for sure there was an orc camp around here. There's definitely a warg area here. Well, that was an orc. Bears, wargs. I'm kind of surprised they're hanging out side by side. You would think the bears would consider the wargs a threat and try to get rid of them. Alright, so that was 6. And it says, talk to Corudan at Haldereth. Which is just over here. Now that we don't need orcs anymore, there's one right over there. Well, that's a little too close for comfort, so excuse me, buddy, but goodbye. Alright, Corudan, any luck?
You did not find the bow. Nona and I did not either.
The orc that seized it must have already left this area. Pity. This spare bow does not fire as accurately as my other dead. I am still a deadly shot, Medrielle. Do not worry on that score. Did you know how dangerous Nona is in combat? I did not think the Dunlendings were more than barbaric hill-dwelling men, but she is a deadly warrior indeed. I underestimated her, and I will not do so again. If we are surprised by orcs as we journey further along the Anduin, I will be glad to have her along. I wonder how Nona's going to react to that.
Whatever orc took the bow must have fled the area.
You did not find Corudan's bow? We did not either. He seemed surprised, but I was not. Whatever orc took that bow must have known an elf would come looking for it and fled the area. This orc is lucky it did, for its hunters numbered 3, 2 elves, and a fierce warrior of the Ukluth. Flight alone could have saved it. I'm sorry Corudan does not have his favorite bow, but I still enjoyed the hunt. You think you can humor me on one count, Medrielle? I understand we must hurry, but this should not take long.
Let us take a detour to Stangard, so I can thank Horn.
When we were last in the region, I was wounded in the swamp, and you brought me to the nearby outpost of the Horse Lords. I was a wounded enemy to everyone there, save one. There were here a man called Horn. He spoke on my behalf, and when you suggested I be taken to the elf woods for healing, you interrupt Nona at this point and tell her that it was actually Horn's idea. A confused look crosses her face. Really? Well, that is one more thing for which I should thank him, and that is what I want, Medrielle. A brief detour to the outpost of Stangard, so I could give him my thanks. Perhaps you can have him meet me here. I do not think I would be welcome once again within their walls. So we are heading to Stangard to talk to Horn, or to see if he wishes to talk to Nona. I guess that would be more accurate. Oh, no, you're not the stable. You're the stable. Oh, and hello, random person. I hope you're having fun.
What can I do for you?
Alright, to Stangard we go. And this is the gentleman we need to speak to.
You were looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you.
Oh, it's you. Still traveling with unsavory types, are you? Athic looks you up and down, and the disgust on his face is clear. You're looking for Horn? Good. Take him with you. Take him and be gone. You will find him up the hill. Rude. Everything we did to help y'all, and y'all are still acting like we're some filthy orc. Well, I get the feeling that Horn will be more than happy to leave this place. I know I would be. Oh, and Bingo's here too.
I am ready for a good bit of walking, if you are.
Travel now, travel later. Yeah, no. We're not doing that right now. Although we probably will have to at some point.
How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive?
I did not think to see you again, Medrielle. How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive? You tell Horn that the healing arts of Galadriel were sufficient, and that Nona has come to Thingland and wishes to thank him in person for his kind words and actions. Oh, I see. I'm glad. Horn seems conflicted about something, and when you ask him if everything is all right, he sighs heavily. It seems there's no place for me anymore, Medrielle. I am no longer welcome in Stangard. My fellows feel that I have been somehow tainted by stepping foot within the elf woods, and by speaking on behalf of the Dunlending. Well, they no longer trust me. They want me to leave by sunrise tomorrow. You ask if there's anything you could do to help. Well, I do not have many possessions. If you bring me my harp and my writing supplies, I will be ready to go. My harp is in the tavern, and my writing supplies are in Wada's house, where I have been staying. That's Stanrick's house, Burston's house, Wada's house. Flyer's home. That's the vault. Wada's home. I love how we're just allowed to walk in. We'll grab the writing supplies. Might as well look upstairs. I'm here. I'm gonna be nosy. Not much here except a door that goes to another bedroom. And then there's another sleeping bag downstairs by the fire. Nice tapestry on the wall. Alright, we've seen everything in there. Now we need to go to the tavern. Kind of do feel bad for Horn, that his fellow Rohirrim would be so callous. But at the same time, I guess they would see it that way. I mean, they don't trust elves, and they certainly are never going to trust a Dunlander. And there's his harp. And I noticed nobody stopped me from grabbing anything. So either they didn't pay any mind, or they know what I'm doing and they're happy for it.
I am not welcome in Stangard. But where can I go?
Thank you for bringing me these. I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go? By order of the Theoden King, I am not to return to Rohan until my term of service in Stangard is finished. Horn looks uncomfortable. Where are you traveling, Medrielle? Could you use another companion on the road? I do not wish to intrude, but I believe my place is with you and the Dunlending girl for whom I gave up, well, it was no life I gave up. I only did what was right, though my fellows failed to see it. You tell Horn that he is welcome to travel with you as far as he will. Thank you, Medrielle. I owe you a great deal for this. An aimless life would ill suit me. Your goals are now mine, and the dangers you face, I will face as well. So, next thing we need to do is talk to Nona at Haldreth, but first, I have totally forgotten what this... So talk to Bingo and Stangard and walk with him into Rohan. So we might be holding off on that longer, because we're not going back to Rohan for a bit. So next time, we'll head back to Haldreth and let Nona know that Horn is joining us. And hopefully she won't be too distressed by that. We'll see. Until then, bye for now.